This is Darth Vader Unlimited, and I apologize because it is hot as the flames on Mustafar here in Philadelphia. It's hot, y'all. It's quite hot. The old Nelly song is getting hot. It ain't getting hot. It's already hot, and I apologize for the notifications. There was an issue as to whether or not I would even go do this stream today, but things have opened up, and I will be live, as you can see. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes, put an announcement up on the community tab, so people that come and check the community tab. I appreciate Luke Skywalker Unlimited and everyone that he has pointed to the channel. I'm always grateful when a good word goes out regarding Darth Vader Unlimited. I really do not take that lightly at all. Okay? And I haven't done too much talking today. So if you need a live impersonation, I'm going to do my best to give you a live impersonation. All right? So again, let's go to the community tab and announce where I am. Where am I? I'm here. Shout out to whoever gave that thumbs up. All right, let me bring it up on my computer. I'm looking at three different things. I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at the tablet, and I'm looking at the laptop to sort of be my own moderator until somebody can, prove. Oops.
Okay, we're getting right into our first subject.
Sorry about that. But as I said, it is a pleasure doing this. And I appreciate everybody that has stopped to watch a live stream. Let's mute. There we go. All right. So today is July 29th. And hello, my son. I've just gone live, so you didn't really miss anything. And it pays to know how to type and do other things at the same time, okay? I'm not boasting. Who boasts about school or their education? I just want to say we can do Q&As. We can make it as interactive as possible. My voice is at a good place, so I can do a live impersonation. Thank you so much for that heart, sir. So I'll do my best to give a live impersonation here. Send the word that Darth Vader Unlimited is broadcasting now. All right. So for all in attendance, the last live stream, I did a I've been doing deep dives on Star Wars materials. So far, I've done The Phantom Menace, I've done A New Hope, and I've done The Force Awakens. And the second films that I've done is Attack of the Clones, which means The Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi will be coming up soon. And that's just me giving just a commentary on those movies, okay? And for the record, there's a lot of stuff on my channel that maybe people have misconstrued into thinking that I don't like the prequel movies. That is not true. I love the prequel movies. I really do. It's just that I hear a lot of negative things about the sequel trilogy. And the sequel trilogy is my least favorite trilogy. But my thing is, if I'm going to harp on the sequels, then I have to show the same energy. That's something that we say here in the United States. I have to have the same energy for things that I noticed in the original trilogy, which is my favorite trilogy, and the prequel trilogy. I can't just say, hey, the sequel is all bad. The sequel is all bad. Sequel. I have to be fair. Even though a Sith Lord doesn't have to be fair. But anyway. So that's what it's about. And there are two series that sort of highlight things that I've always noticed that I had issues with. There's Sith, SITH, which stands for stupidity I totally hated, okay? And it's mostly about the prequels, okay? That doesn't mean I hate the prequels. It just aspects of the prequels that I don't like. There's also We the Prequels. Now, what is We the Prequels about? How is it different from Sith? I'm so glad you asked. I'll answer. We the Prequels is for entertainment purposes. Sith is too, okay? Exactly. I believe, and yes, I'm veering because I'm responding to the chat here. The sequel trilogy that George Lucas wrote is totally awesome. Now, in the original sequel trilogy, the original, I'm talking about all the way back to the filming of Return of the Jedi, the Emperor was supposed to survive and he was supposed to escape in Return of the Jedi, and he was supposed to come back in episode 9. No, wait. No, episode 7, excuse me. No. Was it 7, 8, or 9? I think he's supposed to come back in episode 9 of George Lucas's original sequel trilogy. Okay? And correct me if I'm incorrect, my son. Okay? I only say that because his name is Luke Skywalker Unlimited and I'm Darth Vader Unlimited. Okay? So if you hear me say that, I'm not talking to my actual biological son. All right? And we're mostly grown-ups. I think you can put that together. But the Emperor was supposed to return in episode 9 of the sequel trilogy. And the main antagonist of the sequel trilogy was supposed to be Darth Maul. Okay? Darth Maul was supposed to come back in episode 7, and he was supposed to like sort of rally all these criminal organizations together, kind of like he did with in series 5 of the Clone Wars, how he kind of like rallies like Mandalorians, Black Sun, other criminal organizations, and they were supposed to be the primary antagonist of the sequel trilogy. And there's also supposed to be a Sith. Yeah, it's not my real father. It's just a great joke, exactly. But and there was also supposed to be a Sith. What was her name? Darn. There was supposed to be almost like a female Sith apprentice that I think was one of the Night Sisters or somebody of Darth Maul's race. Again, correct me if I'm incorrect. But she was supposed to be one of the main antagonists as well. And the Emperor was supposed to come back in episode 9. Now, we know Return of the Jedi saw several alterations. Number 1, the Emperor died in Return of the Jedi. That's where the Emperor died. He didn't die in Rise of Skywalker, okay? Darth Talon, that was her name. Thank you so much, sir. She was supposed to be Darth Talon. I don't know if there's any concept art. Let me look on there real quick and see if there's any concept art for Darth Talon. Now, it's saying here that she was one of Darth Krayt's Sith in the future in over 100 ABY. But I do believe that she was originally supposed to be in George Lucas's original sequel trilogy. And as I was saying, the Emperor was killed in Return of the Jedi rather than surviving. And that is still one of the pivotal moments of Star Wars. Darth Vader converting... Sorry about that. Darth Vader converting from the dark side to the light and destroying Palpatine for good. Okay? So I thought that was very well done. It's still an emotional touchstone for me. I just watched that video probably a day ago. And I got the same, the same feeling 40 years later, okay? Exactly 40 years later, I still felt the same. Like, wow, this is a great moment. You see Vader looking back and forth to Palpatine and his son. Then the love for his son wins out over his allegiance and loyalty to the Emperor. And one thing I definitely want to talk about in the future is, and it has something to do with the prequels, how the prequels were kind of superimposed over the originals. That's when the special editions came out. That's when you saw Hayden Christensen as the ghost of Anakin Skywalker rather than the original actor who was Sebastian Shaw. But this rule of 2 that Yoda talked about at the end of The Phantom Menace, let me make it clear to everyone on YouTube and anyone who watches this. That was not a part of the original trilogy. That was not the philosophy of the original trilogy. There can only be 2. Because in that case, why would Darth Vader say, hey, let's make him an ally? And the Emperor says, yes, he would be a great asset. That debunks that right there. Okay? Because if it was originally there, then the Emperor would have stopped him and said, wait, you trying to overthrow me? You and Luke? If the rule of 2 existed, the Emperor would have never had that hollow phone call with Darth Vader. So the rule of 2 is another sort of the prequel superimposed over the original trilogy. And the idea that now Vader was planning on overthrowing the Emperor, and I'm sorry about the loud vehicles, I apologize. He was planning on overthrowing the Emperor with Luke by his side, okay? But there's a lot of talk like, oh yeah, well, that always happens with the Sith. Okay, first of all, when Darth Vader destroys the Emperor, it's not, haha, I got Palpatine. No. You see him like looking into the shaft, and in the novelization of Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, literally his son, has to literally pull Vader away from the shaft because Vader wanted to go in after the Emperor because he was almost a slave to the Emperor. Like, people really just like forget about this. Like, Vader has all this loyalty to the Emperor. Like, I would dare say that Vader looked up to the Emperor as almost a father figure. Because even when he's fighting like Luke, when Luke fall in Empire Strikes Back, when he falls into the carbon freezing pit, and he goes, "Perhaps you're not as strong as the Emperor thought." Like, why wasn't he just talking to himself, going, "Man, you and I could have destroyed the Emperor"? He said that at the end when he was about to convert Luke. But Vader still had all his loyalty to the Emperor. So this idea of Vader hated the Emperor. I do agree that he hated being on the dark side at some points, but there was a strong loyalty. There was a fierce loyalty there. Okay, and let me do what I said I was going to do and announce that I'm live because I still haven't done it yet. Okay. We are broadcasting live on Darth Vader Unlimited. But there was a fierce loyalty there. Now, we do know that when the opportunity came, the Emperor said to Luke, "Hey, now's the time. Kill him. Replace him," basically. So that's how Return of the Jedi was changed. Because as I said, the Emperor was supposed to escape originally and come back for the sequel trilogy. Okay? And I'm glad that George Lucas did it the way he did it. And pardon me for wiping, but sorry, but not sorry, because it's about 90-something degrees here in Philadelphia. And I do not want to sweat into a puddle on a live stream. Okay? But again, George Lucas did it the right way by having Vader. Wait, Vader probably purposely lost to Luke just to please and... Let me see it here. Vader probably lost to Luke just to please and love and devote to his master. That's loyalty. I don't know if he lost on purpose, but when Luke briefly flirts with the dark side in that moment that you're talking about, Luke Skywalker, when Luke Skywalker Unlimited, where they're underneath the stairs and it's like, Luke is hiding from Vader. And then he says, "If you will not turn to the dark side, perhaps she will," referring to his sister. And remember, Darth Vader only found that out by mentally probing Luke. That shows you how powerful Darth Vader was. Like, how could you get to something that specific, that nuanced? All the things going on in his mind. Sorry about that. All the things going on in his mind, he was able to pinpoint that he has a sister. That's very specific. That's very powerful. So that's when Luke briefly turns to the dark side, says "never," and he stabs at Vader, and they're like fighting underneath the stairs and all the other good stuff. So I'm not going to say Vader lost on purpose, but pardon me, 1 second. Hold up. How do you pause on this? Wait, am I still transmitting? Pardon me, I'll be right back. Okay? Sorry about this. Yes. I'll be right back. 3 o'clock. Okay. Sorry about that again. But what was I saying? But yes, it shows you how powerful Darth Vader was. I don't believe he lost on purpose. Okay. I do believe that he was sort of again, Vader's in conflict. You know what I mean? When I'm trying to think, because at the end of the Empire Strikes Back, after their duel, Vader almost beheads Luke. Like, Luke hits him on the shoulder. He goes, "Arrgh!" And if Luke doesn't duck, you know what I'm talking about? If Luke does not duck, his head is gone along with that post. And then Vader, chops his hand off, and the battle's over that fast. It's like, oh, really? Disarmed, literally. Okay. And then you hear how Vader is talking to Luke. He's not that commanding baritone anymore. It's like, "Luke," he's like, "you do not yet realize your importance. Like he's really trying to lure him to the dark side. He said, "You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training." He's not even yelling. He's not bellowing. Then he goes, with our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict, the Civil War, or the lightsaber battle, either one, and bring order to the galaxy. So he is talking about the Civil War. And Luke screams back, "I'll never join you!" And Vader says, "If you only knew the power of the dark side, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father." "He told me enough." Luke ain't trying to hear nothing Vader's saying. "He told me you killed him." And then Vader drops the bomb. No, softly. "No, I am your father." He's almost whispering, you know what I mean? And then Luke goes, "No." Because immediately, Luke knows Vader's telling the truth. Immediately. And I bet if I'd have been in the theaters, I bet everybody believed him as soon as he said it. You're like, why? You just think he's telling the truth. You're like, nobody expected this. So he goes, no, that's not true. Luke's lip is turned out. "That's impossible." And Vader's like, he's like, "Search your feelings." Like, don't even take my word for it, basically. He's saying, "Search your feelings. You know it be true." He didn't say, "Your mama name was Padme. We made love." He didn't go into any details. He said, "Search your feelings if you don't believe me." And then Luke knows it's true. And he goes, "No!" Holding on to the thing. No, he goes, "Luke," like you really hear Vader pleading with Luke. "Luke," he goes, "you can destroy the Emperor. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me." Wait, he still has the fist up. "And together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Come with me. It is the only way." All right. And unfortunately, I have to cut the live stream short. I will be back on in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Luke Unlimited, for joining me. I hope you can come back when I go back live in about 10 or 15 minutes. All right. Thank you so much, guys.